Good morning, students. Let we start our new chapter, our second chapter of the book, the world population, distribution, density, and growth. So, these three terms, distribution, density, and growth, it is very essential to understand them. By distribution, we mean the way people are spread on earth. People generally form societies and communities, right? So, it is very essential to understand that pattern if you are to serve them better. Now, you must be thinking why it is necessary to understand the distribution of people. How is it going to help us? Well, think of it this way. There are so many variables associated with human like social, economics, political, biological, genetics, geographical, etc. They all are interlinked with human. It's like human is the center part of all of this. And if we study distribution of people, there we will be able to serve them well. We can serve them with better health planning, educational planning, employment planning, housing planning, food supply, etc. Now coming to the second term, that is density. By density we mean how many people have packed in a specific amount of space. And again, it is important to know this because if we know how many people are squeezed in a set amount of place, we can control the population from causing environmental pollution. If the place is packed with people and people have needs, in fulfilling those needs, there will be pollution, right? So think of it that way. And the third term is growth. Since population is related to economic development, therefore Therefore, keeping a track of its growth is very important in tackling social, political, and economical issues. So, this chapter is all about all the three things we just heard. So, the first topic of this chapter is patterns of population distribution in the world. Now, patterns of population distribution and density help us to understand the demographic characteristic of any area. When we said demographic characteristic, we mean the age, gender, education, profession, occupation, income level, and marital status of the people. Knowing all of this is very important because it will give meaningful and actionable insights when implementing the government policies and scheme towards development of nation. I hope you are getting what I am trying to say. There are many public policies like MG Narega, National Rural Health Mission, National Pension System, etc., that require these insights so that it improves the life of the citizens, which in turns help them developing the economy. So, here in the book, there are 10 most populated countries already given, out of which just remember the three most populated country. First is China, second India, and third is United Nations. Let me complete our topic. Today I am telling you some of the densely populated parts of the world. Firstly, from northeastern part of USA. I am talking about the states like New Hampshire, Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, New York. All those places are densely populated regions of US. And in the Europe, the northwestern part is most populated. The countries like Ireland, Belgium, North Germany, Luxembourg, France, etc. are the most populated countries in Europe. Coming to the Asian continent, that in South, Southeast and East Asia, entire region over here, if you just take India and China, I think these two countries' population is enough to state the point that this region of Asia is densely populated. So just keep these reasons in mind. It's good to remember from examination point of view, but also if at any point you visit any of these places, you now know where to hang out and meet people. So now I am telling you there are some places where population density is absolutely low. These places are the North and South Pole. These places are extremely cold areas. I mean, civilization does exist over here, but it very low. There are many international research stations that exist in Antarctica So mostly people are there to do scientific research of climate change and environmental stuff. Some 30 countries have their research stations there. In fact, India has one as well by the name of Indian Antarctic Program. In the North Pole, there is a city in Norway. It is one of the world inhabited area. The area of this place is 61,022 square kilometer and the population is nearly 2,642. I just wanted you to have an idea how low is the population density in northern pole. And by the way, this place has university. Hence people are serious about staying here forever. Apart from north and south pole, we have some places in the equator, middle of the earth, where the conditions are so harsh that density of population is low. In these regions, we are talking about the central part of Africa, where it's super hot due to equatorial region, and then place like Amazon forest in South America, Andaman and Nicobar in India. So much of natural vegetation exists over here, basically forest. Very less people stay here. Just keep these places in mind with regards to population density. So the next topic is factors influencing the distribution of population. There are some reasons behind population distribution. They usually related to geographical, economic and socio-cultural factors. Let's quickly begin with geographical factors. There are something we human have no control over it whatsoever, like the first one, availability of water. Water is used for almost everything and by everyone, such as drinking, bathing, cooking, irrigation, industrial and navigational purposes. And that's why you are noticed that river valleys are densely populated areas of the world. The next is landform. When we say landform, we are talking about the physical features of earth like mountains, plateaus, plains, desert, etc. Peoples mostly prefer living on flat plains and gentle slopes. That's why you will see most of the populated cities in India are on the banks of River Ganga. If you look at the regions of northeast and north, I'm talking about the places lying at foothills of Himalayas, there you will find less people because these places will not favor agricultural and industrial development. Hence, there will be less employment and people will not prefer staying at places where it is hard to earn a living. The third one is climate. I want you to just think about this. When choosing the location of your vacation, you would prefer a place with pleasant weather, right? Hence, people don't prefer staying at areas with very heavy rainfall or extreme and harsh climate. But good example is the Mediterranean region. So the country that surrounded the Mediterranean Sea are some of the biggest holiday destination of the world. Countries like Greece, Italy, Spain, all such exotic locations are located in here with pleasant climate. So I hope you understand how much climate plays an important role in population distribution. And the last one under geographical factor is soil. Soil is usually related with agricultural and allied activities. By allied activities, we are talking about animal husbandry, horticulture, sericulture, fisheries, agroforestry, etc. All these activities required fertile soil for best productivity, and many people rely on these activities for the living. Understand the connection? Therefore, soil directly comes as an important factors for population distribution. So these all are the geographical factors influencing the distribution